Scourge Grantbird sits on a dusty shelf. The pie contest winner grins in post-coital glory benumbed. And the drool that sat on the corner of the lips also glints in the reflective mirror as childhood moves from adulthood and from gratitude to deaditude, and the Chinese restaurant slowly decays in the spot where they sold the second-hand printer. And as the pie sweated into its white bag to be tossed onto the roadside next to the bucket in which a sponge it sat, faded in the sun. The car smashed into the light pole, and for 1 second the crow was dispersed. And under the water the fish sucked the mud. And on the stage the diva in training never quite got past the first audition. And from a roof hung that flag. And in the purse, a tiny white rabbit. And on the cards read, "Made in Taiwan." And underneath the plastic and where the wires sit inside the bottle, there were chemicals. And in between where the words live, and in the story of a peeling nose, on a train, color of death and timetables, the will of industry. And the curl and the hay in the quiet of the end of another week, there lay dreams. And in another country, in a forest somewhere, a monk turned over another stone. Dogma, Krishna. Self-help manuals. Another drop of iodine on the scab knee. And the teeth scraping concrete, and the stick shoved into another anthole. The lone kestrel, up high, falls to its death. And the magpie pecks away its own offspring's eye, and the wind howling, and the acetone fumes weary the lonely driver. 'Cause no flame tree will ever save Melton from racism. No $5 pub lunch, no barcode vegan packaging. For $10, all you get is potato. And the fluorescent light bulb emitting petrochemicals, and the green peas pilchard in its can. In the bunker of a Southern American wishing for a wall. And a gun, and a Marilyn Manson album, and angels with their scab wings and Coca-Cola, the breadcrumbed oil on the meat, and the broiler first crisps. And then as if a Brahmin bride lit herself on her husband's pyre, the Parmigiano was ready. And in a moment of post-coital pie contestation, the lager was poured down, and the eye became bloodshot, and the dustbin was emptied. And the bruise on the waitress's neck turned from purple to green, and the cornflour yeast was rubbed with the nylon into the chef's butt crack. And the ingrown hair curled its way slowly towards the belly button hole, and the once infant grew white hair. And somewhere at the football, an almost bigot shouted. And in the university, you could almost hear a celebratory pop, as if by fluke, and leftover pawn crackers. In the privilege of mom's car and dad's wallet, getting culture via Qantas. And when the last pen was lifted to circle the feedback form, celebrating the last plastic-wrapped lunch over barley, and in criticism the thoughts were broadcast in epiphanies, dumping partners via Facebook for the dream of exotic romance. The football bounced and the beverage was quaffed, and the breadcrumb became a light. The tiny blue coil reached the element, and another day scratched its way onto another automatic teller machine docket, and in the low slung waistband was a taser, ready to zap another fair evader. The Minister for Agriculture never did read the guidelines for the content of meat required in the pie. But the information can be found online.